Hello everybody, it's me, Sora the Hero 2 from Phantom Games with another video. I know it's been a while since I've posted, but today I felt like it was a good day with my voice in the recording. So, without further ado, let's jump into today's video. Now, today's video is about the Pinafore H2 Speed, and honestly, this is one of the most underrated C-Class cars. Back when Asphalt 9 first dropped, it was among the kings with the Acura 2017 NSX, but since with the addition of all these other new C-Class cars, it has kind of dropped in popularity since all the other cars are better on it or have more wins under their belt. I don't think that's the case, as the Pinafore H2 Speed can hold out on its own thanks to its mid to okay-ish top speed, with its decent acceleration, very good handling and drifting, and okay nitro efficiency. The Pinafore H2 Speed, honestly, is one of now my favorite C-Class cars to use in multiplayer and events. Now, in this first race, I am going up against a Huracan. This was towards the upper end of Silver League, and honestly, after this stunt right here, I was like, oh, it's going to be a great race. This is going to be fantastic. Well, the Huracan has much higher top speed than the Pinafore H2 Speed, but if something you don't know is that the Huracan actually has terrible drifting. It doesn't, or not terrible, maybe not the greatest, but that's not terrible. The Pinafore H2 Speed has wonderful drifting. It makes it feel smooth like butter. Its acceleration, again, like I said, is decent when maxed out. Mine is only at 3 stars as I'm making this video, but I plan to spend my credits on 4-starring it because this is a car that I think is worth the 4-star. Now, for those of you who don't know, the Winterfest update just happened for my computer, which is a Windows 10. And if you haven't updated your game, I'll suggest you do so because this is one season that I am very, very, very excited for. It consists of one of my favorite Asphalt 8 cars, the Faraday Future, as it's said in Asphalt 8. And in Asphalt 8, this car is well known for being the #1 best speed recovery cars in the game. But that's Asphalt 8. In Asphalt 9, I have not seen a test drive video about it from anyone, but I'm very excited about it along with the Bugatti Bolide. But what I'm interested in is the new 2 acceleration kings of the game. They just shredded the Ashbark Owl in acceleration with the Peugeot 9x8. With being the first car over 90 acceleration. Now, I don't know if you know this or not, but that car also has great handling, great nitro, but its top speed is okay-ish. It's A-class, but even with acceleration, handling, and nitro that high, I think that might be one of the new kings of A-class, just fairly by its acceleration and its insane other stats. Now, in case y'all didn't see my Slipstream season video, the reason why I haven't posted much content with my voice in it is because one of my favorite Christian rappers, P-Bod, you should go look him up, was at one of the youth conferences me and my church went to. I was very excited to see him, and I actually got to talk with him, but every single song he sang I knew, so I kind of blew up my voice, so I haven't been honestly on here very much. But back to Asphalt 9 video stuff. Anyway, honestly, when I first started using the Pinafore H2 Speed, I only had it at 1 star, and I already had the Dodge Viper ACR at 4 stars, while I only had the H2 at 1 star. So I was using the Dodge Viper for the longest time, and I didn't know how good this car was until an event a long time ago happened where you can either use the Acura maxed or the H2 maxed. And so I used the Acura, it did okay, and then I used the H2 and realized, wow, this car has insane drifting and handling and everything. And I've seen some videos saying the Acura is better, but honestly, I think the H2 is much better on technical and twisty tracks. The Acura is better on long and fast-paced tracks like Himalayas or Nevada, but the H2 would probably whoop the Acura on tracks such as the Caribbean, Osaka, or any other twisty tracks that they add in the future, because the H2 doesn't lose a ton of speed, whereas the Acura loses a lot of speed while drifting. And the Acura's terrible nitro efficiency doesn't help it either, but it also has insane acceleration and good top speed. The H2 is kind of like an opposite mirror to the Acura, whereas the Acura is fast and good acceleration in exchange for bad drifting and bad nitro efficiency, and the H2 has not so good top speed and okay acceleration in exchange for very good handling and, again, okay-ish nitro. But honestly, after comparing the two cars, I would use the H2 Speed much more often, just for the fact that it's fun to drive. And honestly, I think this car can do small floaties and punch drifts. I've tested it out, and honestly, I think it does. And I've said honestly way too many times in this recording, and if you're still listening, thank you so much for being here. As we approach the end of this last race, I would like to say, if you can count how many emojis I've used during this race, I will shout you out in my next Asphalt 9 video. Now, as we do this final turn on this last race, I would like to say thank you so much for watching. It blesses me every single time. And I hope you all have a very good Christmas, as I'm going to with my family. Make sure you spend a lot of time with your family and your friends and get to know your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. God bless you all.